Alright, I'm here. Let's answer some questions. Congratulations on being appointed player general manager of the Los Angeles Lakers. How do you feel having this extra responsibility within the Lakers organization? It's an honor, first and foremost. When I first joined Laker Nation, the first person I spoke to was Kobe Bryant. He told me about the history and importance of being a Laker and how much it meant to him. I now intend to run this team with those same values in mind. Now that you have what seems to be an extraordinary amount of power within the Lakers front office, what are your plans with the current roster? I like where our roster is at the moment. Will the roster we have now be the same as the roster we have going into May and June? No, but I expect everyone, including myself, to play every game like it's a playoff game. Not making the playoffs last season stung. I don't want to experience that again in my career, so I'll be willing to make any moves necessary to put us in a position to win. I can see you've made some moves in the front office and coaching staff already, bringing back legendary head coach Phil Jackson, hiring Kyle Korver as your assistant, and bringing in Shane Battier as your CFO. What do you expect they will bring to the Lakers? I obviously know Kyle and Shane quite well, having played with both of them in my career. Kyle impressed me with the work he was doing in Atlanta, being their assistant GM, and Shane doing the same in Miami. I felt it was very natural to ask them to join me with what we're building here in LA. Hiring Phil was also an easy decision. He's known as the greatest coach of all time for a reason. I know that it won't be easy for anyone to coach their GM, but if anyone can do it, it's Phil. Last question. With the NBA recently changing the draft age from 19 to 18, and with your son Bronny joining the NBA G League Ignite affiliate, how will this impact on your potential draft choices in the upcoming draft? I knew I'd get this one sooner rather than later. I've made it no secret that I would love to play with Bronny at some point in my career. He's obviously got a lot more time left than me, and I can't play forever, but as I said earlier, I'll be willing to make any moves necessary that put us in a position to win. If that means drafting Bronny, great. If it's someone else that suits our roster better, then we'll do that. We have a long season ahead of us, and so does all of this year's draft class, so this question will be answered in time. Hello everybody, TyronnCannon here, and welcome to LeBron LeGM James's career mode. I'm back. I've been AWOL. I've been sick. So I'm sorry. But I'm okay now, so it's all good. Today, we've done a little press conference, which you have seen. Stephen A. Smith's popped up. Jalen Rose popped up. I even think there was a little bit of Skip Bayless. Bill Simmons was in there. But anyway, that's not what we're not here to talk about. The press conference. It's laid the groundwork already of what's going to happen in this series. Basically, the goal of this series is to get LeBron James as many championships as we can before he retires. Is this going to be the most realistic series? No. But we're going to have fun with it. And that's what we're all about on this channel. Having fun. So, on the roster, we're going to suss it out. I've made LeBron a 99. I've tweaked his attributes just a little bit, just enough to make it where he's more of an MVP candidate again. We want to get him up in the GOAT status. That's what we're aiming for. He's in the top 3 players of all time. Michael Jordan's up there. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's up there. You could throw Kobe Bryant in there if you wanted to. But LeBron, he hasn't quite, in my opinion, cracked that top 2, 3. He's close. He's probably in the 4, 5 tier. We want to get him up there. So that's what we're going to try and do. So basically, Fenway Sports Group is LeBron owns a stake in Fenway Sports Group. They have bought the Lakers and just like, here LeBron, here are the keys, drive the car where you want to go. So we're going to do a quick overview of the roster. We might even play a game in this episode. I'm not sure, haven't decided yet. This is going to be very much off the cuff. We're going to do things very spontaneously in this series. So we're going to start with LeBron. He's going to be playing small forward for the majority of this season. I plan to move him to the power forward position as he gets older so he can spend more time in the post. And potentially become more of a stretch big if we can get his three-pointer up there. As you can see, it's currently an A+, which I did stick it up to. Basically what I did, I copied his attributes and distributed them how they were when he was on the 2012-13 Miami Heat. So this is 2K has come up with this. I have just copied and pasted what they have done. So nothing is too unrealistic. I've just basically put LeBron in a time machine, sent him back 10 years, and brought him back again with the same attributes. Anthony Davis. LeBron and Anthony Davis are the two untouchables. There's one secret untouchable, which I'll get to later. But these two guys, I'm realistically not going to trade. Basketball Jesus would have to have a conversation with me, like, okay, we're going to have a conversation about trading these guys. We'll give you 87 first-round picks. Probably not going to trade these guys. So you're going to see these guys for the majority of the series. D'Angelo Russell was received in the Russell Westbrook trade, which, by the way, glad Westbrook's off the team. I'm not a Lakers fan. I'm more of a LeBron fan. The Cavs are my favorite team, but I'm a LeBron guy. Westbrook, I'm glad he's gone. Basically, that's a lot of money that we don't need for a guy who's not that good. He's very good in his prime, not so much anymore, but he's gone. We got D'Angelo Russell in return, a guy who can shoot, can defend a little bit. I don't like him as a real defensive specialist, but that's something we're going to be trying to develop as the series goes on. As you can see, he's on a one-year deal. If we can go to the contract screen, he's a free agent in the off-season. I'm going to try and re-sign him during the season, and if I can't reach an agreement with him, I'm going to trade him. So just so we're not losing for nothing. So that's basically where I'm at with him. Jared Vanderbilt, I quite like. He's going to be my starting power forward for now. Once LeBron is moved over to the power forward position, I'm going to move Jared Vanderbilt to the bench because I don't know how much growing he has left in terms of his potential. We're going to work on his three ball so he becomes a real sort of 3-and-D sort of big man, which I really like. So I'll see with him if we get a really good offer for him. We've got him on the books for another 2 years, so we'll go from there. Austin Reeves, Lakers fan, loves Austin Reeves. I've read this in many Laker fan forums and Facebook. Oh, they love Austin Reeves. So I'm going to try and keep him around. He's a free agent at the end of the season. I believe he's a restricted free agent. I don't know. But he's going to be starting shooting guard. So he's going to stay unless we get a stupidly good offer for him as well. But I like Austin Reeves. I think he's good. I don't think he's as good as what people say he is, but that's okay. I'm happy to be proven wrong. Rui Hachimura is not safe. I'm not a massive Rui Hachimura fan. I will be trading him at the earliest possible moment. I don't want to pay him when he becomes a free agent at the end of the season, so I'm going to try and get a draft pick for him or some shooting and some defense, neither of which he does very well. So I'm going to explore some trades for him. He's not safe. We'll see how we go with him. Mo Bamba. I think we've got him for another 2 seasons. Yeah, we've got a team option for him in 2023. I don't know how I feel about Mo Bamba. I just feel like he gets injured a lot. I might need him if Anthony Davis goes down, but we'll see how we go with Mo Bamba. He's closer to being traded than he is safe, so we'll see how we go. Dennis Schroeder's getting traded. He's 29. He's not going to get any better. He's not going to... Basically, he's as valuable as he's ever going to be, so I'm going to trade him for hopefully some picks. Same with Lonnie Walker. I don't see much value in him on this team. He's got great hair, which he has cut off, which I'm very sad about, but I'm sorry, Lonnie. I don't have a spot for you on this roster. Yeah, sorry. Malik Beasley's out of here. That's a lot of money for next season, which I'm not going to pay for someone who's not very good. so I'm going to trade him at the earliest possible moment. He's an okay shooter, doesn't play great defense. I've got a few targets in mind, which I'll show you in a second. There's a particular screen which is very useful for this kind of thing, so I'll show you that in a second. But yeah, he's not safe. Wenyen Gabriel. For a second, I thought his name was Wendell, so if I call him Wendell at any point in the series, I do apologise. But he's a 6'9" centre that can't shoot and is not a very good defender in the post. So I'm not really sure what he's doing on the roster. He's not safe. Troy Brown Jr., he's a 3-point specialist. He's on the minimum. He likely won't be a Laker next season. But yeah, we're going to need to make some serious moves to get this roster where I want it to be, where LeBron wants it to be. I am LeBron James, but I'm also TyronnCannon Cooper, if you don't know me. Hi. So I'll be using the word me and I as LeBron James very loosely. So if it gets confusing, I do apologize. But when I say me, I mean LeBron. Max Christie is my second favorite player on the Lakers. I don't know. Ever since he got drafted, I don't know why I like Max Christie. I just do. He's going to be very important to this series. He's the secret. Not really. He's untouchable, in my opinion, at this stage. We're going to send him to the G League at the start of the season. He's 19 years old. He's 72 overall. He's already got an A+3. I had nothing to do with that. That's what 2K gave him. And he's been playing for a bit for the Lakers off the bench this season. But he's going to feature very heavily as the season goes on. I plan to anyway. We'll see how that goes. Davon Reed, another shooter, another bench guy. He's again probably in a similar position to Troy Brown Jr. Just a shooter off the bench on the minimum. Not going to have him on the bench next season. And then we've got our two-way players, Scottie Pippen Jr. and Cole Swider. When I play NBA 2K, I'm not a massive fan of the two-way contracts. So I don't know how long these guys are going to be on the roster for. Sorry. I know people really like Scottie Pippen Jr. because it's Scottie Pippen Jr. But we'll see how he goes. We'll see how he goes in the G League. I might sign him up to be like a backup point guard, but I don't really see much for him at this stage. Our coaching staff. I've given everybody an A+ in their attributes except for Chris Gent, because I will replace him at some point. But these guys are great. They've got the right badges. We're going to be scouting, keeping guys healthy. Phil Jackson, greatest coach of all time, 11 championship rings. We're going to be running the triangle. I don't know how that's going to work. We're going to have to do some trades, figure out who's going to fit well with the Lakers. But we're going to be running the triangle with Davis up top, LeBron down there, maybe on the perimeter as the primary ball handler as well. And then we've got Kyle Korver, who is in real life the assistant general manager of the Atlanta Hawks. We've brought him over to be our assistant GM, so he's going to be helping us out with some trades. And then we've got Shane Battier, who is a consultant, I believe, for the Miami Heat. I'm not entirely sure what his position is over there in real life. But we've brought him over to be our CFO. He's very smart, one of the smartest NBA players, also very academic. If you just Google Shane Battier Academia, when he was at Duke, he did a whole lot of cool stuff with his academia. So he's going to be running our financial department. So we're going to be having him in there. We might bring in some other cool former teammate of LeBron to be our assistant coach. We'll just have to wait and see. Now, the cool screen I wanted to show you was the trading block. I've outlined the trading block, our untouchables. I might quickly add Max Christie to this before I forget and trade him. I'm not actually going to trade him, but we'll see. No, we're not trading him. I've just contradicted myself. We're not trading Max Christie. I love Max Christie. This is the initial target list of guys who I think would pair very nicely with LeBron James on this team. OG Anunoby, hard name to say. sort of a really good 3-and-D shooting guard. Severely underpaid for the role that he does. I think he's really good. He's been in trade rumors for the last year and a half with Toronto. So I'm not sure what a deal would look like for OG Anunoby at this stage. But he would be playing our 2 guard. And then, sorry, I'm holding back a burp. I had a Milo earlier, but anyway, we're got OG Anunoby. I'm not sure what the trade's going to look like, but we're going to work something out. Bol, personal favourite of mine. My only concern with him is his injuries. Other than that, the sky's the limit for this man. He can play on the wing. He can play in the post. He's 7'2". His first name is his last name. He's just great. And he always develops very nicely. And he's very cheap at the moment. So that's going to be another target for us. Gary Trent Jr. is a teammate of OG Anunoby. What I imagine this looking like would be like an Gary Trent Jr., OG Anunoby for D'Angelo Russell and a bunch of picks. That's how it looks like in my brain. And then I would just shuffle LeBron over to the point guard position for a while. But we'll just have to wait and see how that goes. Long term, I would see Gary Trent Jr. coming off the bench and then have OG Anunoby as a starter. But those two could easily be switched around, depending on which one we get, if we get one or the other or both. I ideally would like both, but we'll have to wait and see. Harrison Barnes, 3-and-D wing, something that Lakers desperately need. He's on a 1-year deal, I believe, if I can find it. Yeah, 18 mil. So I would ideally trade for him, re-sign him on the down low, and then keep him into his 30s. Shot 39% from 3 for the last 2 seasons. Last 4 seasons, really. He's been really good ever since he got to Sacramento. Famously crapped the bed in Game 7 of the NBA Finals in 2016. So hopefully that doesn't come back to bite us when we hopefully make a playoff run with him on the team. But we'll just have to wait and see. A lot of this is wait and see kind of stuff. And then the last one is Grant Williams. I just see him as a nice bench guy. 3-point shooter, stretch big. I say big, he's 6'6", so he's really got the size of a 2 guard, but he plays power forward. But he's on the books for $4 million this season, and then I believe he's a free agent. So ideally we'd like to extend him. We could get him from Boston fairly cheaply, I'm pretty sure, if we don't get Bol. I'd rather get Bol than Grant Williams, because I believe his ceiling's a little bit higher. But we'll just have to wait and see. And the last thing I wanted to touch on before we wrap up this episode is the draft board. Bronny, my good man, he's here. I will be scouting Bronny throughout the season. This is the only thing, attributes-wise, I have adjusted, is putting Bronny in this draft class. Where is he? Where can we find the Bronster? Little Bronny. Where are you? Here we go. There he is. He's a point guard, athletic finisher, 6'2", 174 pounds. He's only a little fella. But he might have a growth spurt in the year. Hopefully, it would be great if we drafted him. But if we send all of our picks to Toronto, it just might not work out. But we'll have to wait and see. I've said that a lot this series. There's a lot of waiting and seeing. There's a lot of moving parts. I really don't know what direction this series is going to go in, but it's going to be fun. But I think that's going to do it for today, guys. Next episode, let's go to the calendar. We're going to do the first couple of weeks of the season, I think. We might do another press conference if needed, depending on what happens when I play those games. I'm not going to play every single game, and we're not going to go over every single game, as this series would take forever. Because ideally, we've got at most 4 years. LeBron's 37. I can only see him playing until he's at most 41. We might do a few extra seasons after he retires, just to see what kind of shape the Lakers are in. See if the wheels have fallen off in any way. But anyway, that'll do for today, guys. If you enjoyed this episode, leave a like. Subscribe if you wish. You don't have to, but I always appreciate it. I know I haven't been around much on YouTube lately, but I plan on... I don't have a specific schedule for these videos, but I plan to be fairly frequent, but I won't set a time frame on how frequently these videos will come out. So it might be a bit inconsistent at times, but if you be patient, hopefully it'll be worth your while. I also do have a Discord server, which I am active in. So there's a link to that in the description below if you wish to join that. And I will catch up with you next time for some more LeGM action. See you guys then.